Hello, and once again, we are live on the Modern Mystery School UK-EU podcast and YouTube channel. And today I am with the lovely Roxana. Roxana, how are you doing?
Hello, everyone. I'm doing marvelous because we are now between the two Easters, the Catholic Easter and the Orthodox Easter. So it's all celebration and it's all about the light.
Oh, I love that. Well, this is perfect then that we are talking about Ensofic ray today. And the reason why I wanted to share with everyone about Ensofic ray is because we have these two classes coming up in London for the whole of the UK and EU, where we'll all be getting together as a community, a unified force, as we all are. And we'll be sharing in these deep healings. And I thought, well, it would be really great to get some feedback from people that have already experienced this. So I was wondering, could you tell us a little bit about when you attended, first of all, the level 1, the Ensofic Reiki level 1? What was it like? What did you expect? Was it what you expected? Or give us, can you give us some insight?
Yes, I have to go back just two little steps, if I may. I have to say that I was admiring and wanted to meet our teacher for the whole Ensofic Ray, which is Ipsissimus Hideto. And I thought that I have to go to Japan to do a class with him, to have this honor. And then the opportunity came to go to Toronto. And then I was so excited and I shared this therapies with my community in Romania that I said, well, unfortunately, maybe we'll be in Canada or maybe in Japan. But then when you facilitated this amazing opportunity to come to London, then it's so great that actually this amazing healing that, yes, comes from East, from all those Japan, China, all these amazing healing areas, is here for us in Europe. So yes, I cannot wait, and of course the Romanians are excited that will join. So first of all, I will invite everyone who is watching us to join as soon as possible because seats are limited. Okay, now closed. The first time I didn't have any expectation. I was so thrilled that I have this amazing opportunity that I had no expectation. And I wanted one time to go to a normal Reiki class. I was scanned by the teacher and he said something that sounds very strange for me back then, that no, your level is higher, go higher. But he didn't say, what does it mean higher? What's that has to do with anything? And he just say, well, you will see, you will figure it out. So I let Reiki out for a while and all that, hands to healing, or how it's called. And I let it aside. And I've done so many other things. And then I discovered Ensofic Reiki. And I discovered in the first class of Ensofic Ray the history presented in a way that I felt like I was with the master who founded this. I was with him on the mountain. I felt the presence of the divine guidance, and I totally understood. I felt it in my body. So it was really amazing. The approach of the Ensofic Ray was marvelous for me, and it was entering inside myself, let's say, and all the backgrounds, and then everything that our founder Goodney brought inside. So it made it so simple to use. So I could say I remembered. It was like I remembered how to use Ensofic Ray. Yes, so that was for me, and my hands even now, as we are burning, remembering, and say, hey, you didn't do an Ensofic Ray for a long time now. Well, that's weeks.
So the level 1, for me personally, I found that the Ensofic, when wielding the Ensofic ray, is so incredibly powerful. and I've done Reiki previously. And I do have a background in that. I just found that when I was working with the Ray, even at level 1, it was so powerful. And I really enjoyed the fact that I could do it for myself and others. Could you tell us a little bit about that, being able to do that for yourself and others?
True, it's so true. Because so many times as healers, we tend to, yes, to heal the others, but not ourselves. And actually, if we forget about ourselves, well, we cannot help the others. And yes, so many times when we need, and especially, I'm speaking for myself, but the only times that I allow myself to rest and to relax so that I feel the pain or the discomfort is during the night. And yes, I'm fortunate because I have my husband, but sometimes he's asleep. He's allowed to do that. And it was so needed to have an instrument to be able to heal myself. So that was amazing. By the way, back then in Canada, for us as a family, it was too much. Somebody had to stay with our children, so he remained, even though he wanted to join the Ensofic. But now he will come to the Ensofic, so he will be able to do that for me too. But especially for the others, the approach that Ensofic ray healing has given me was a very soft but powerful approach. So it's very effective, but it's not, let's say, scary, because still a lot of people, when you are talking about your energy, even life activation, or more if we're talking of full spirit activation, is, oh, what's that? But yes, everybody now knows about Reiki. And if I'm saying, well, it's a special kind of Reiki, more effective might be, but just experience it, then they want to. And all of them were, wow, what was that? Well, come back to learn some more. So yes, thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah, I just love that. This is an opportunity for all adepts. So anybody that's been initiated, really. I just love it that they have an opportunity to have this for themselves and for others, and like you were saying, in our families, just having it for our children, just when they need something calming, something, we can just do it. And I just love the way it's so adaptable.
With this, Divina Kate, I will ask, is it possible to do also to teenagers to join the class?
Oh,
Or
yes, absolutely. It's wonderful for, yeah, teenagers can come as long as they've been, initiated, depending on what age they are. And this is just such a wonderful thing for them to have for themselves, isn't it? It's just so
because
great.
what I realized, and I'm looking at the not only teenagers but very young initiated,
Oh, yes, yeah.
they trust themselves more.
Mm.
So I thought maybe if more young people or teenagers will join, they can do for each other.
Yeah, well, that's lovely. Yeah, absolutely. It's just such an amazing tool to have. And it will be with you forever. So it's there, it's forever, it's wonderful. And then
Right.
just moving on, Roxana, because I know we've only got limited time to chat about this, but we're also doing level 2. And level 2 is where you can actually send the Ensofic for distance healing. So people don't have to be physically in the room. You can send it. And also, you can help people or yourself with the bad habits, with bad habits that we have. Could you tell us a little bit about this experience that you had with level 2?
Divina Kate, you know me, and it might be very emotional for me because that second therapy that we experienced in the level 2 was a turn point for me personally, for 2 reasons. First, because as a Romanian healer, we have a lot of Romanians all around the world. and they cannot always, come to Romania, or I cannot fly to them so often. And even though they were initiated or they have the life activation, if they needed help, there is so little that I could do. So this instrument was magic. And in the community that you are running, and it's so beautifully organized, we can help all of us, we can help people in need, and we send Ensofic to a person at distance. And I think it's such a privilege to be able to serve and to help when someone needs in that moment, and not, okay, let's schedule a meeting tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. So that's one. But then at even more personal level, the bad habit, when I heard something in my body changed, and I said, okay, Roxana, you can do it. Just face it, your number one issue that I've been having it for, I don't know, ever since I can remember myself. And that's, I couldn't say overeating, but yes, let's say emotional eating. And I address it. And I've seen so many things in that point, and was the shift. And then I've done it also. I've asked and I receive it more. And now finally I'm in a point of no return. I can say that. And yes, I think 90% it's thanks to that healing that I received in Ensofic too, because I could address it from another perspective, so that my mind didn't fight against.
Yes.
Because all the other methods that I tried, my mind was smarter and succeeded to convince me somehow that I needed that piece of cake, that I needed, I don't know, 2 portions of whatever. And I didn't.
Do you know, that's interesting. I have never done that for emotional eating on anybody, and that's just such a great top tip. Yes. My goodness, because I think this is something that a lot of people
yes.
have a challenge with. So that's a wonderful. Thank you for being open and for sharing that, because I'm sure that's going to help a lot of people.
Usually, I don't say about my struggles until I reach, like now, to. But now, yes, exactly in this period, I also started a feast that we do, and I used your Easter too, the Catholic. Actually, we were all together, and I entered in a period of reset, and with the help also of our beloved Divina Franca, because you need help, you need guidance. Yeah. Even though when you do a healing, but the person who did that healing is actually becomes your a little bit guide. And if it's really your guide also, because he initiated you, it can help you in the moments, I don't know what to do now.
So, and it's so powerful. I think you're very successful and strong woman, and for you to say we all need a little bit of help. We all, because it's having that support system that spots the blind spots, the bits that you can't see, the bits you can't reach, the bits that you're not quite sure about. And that's why lineage works. That's why Mystery School Path works, because we're all, we each have a guide, don't we, that have walked the path that little bit longer. And my goodness, I often say, thank God I stand on the shoulders of my ancestors' experiences, so I don't have to make all of those mistakes and have all of that pain. I can work from their level of understanding, and that's the beauty of the lineage.
Exactly. And even though my guide being Shani Letter, of course she didn't have all these problems, but yes, I found someone who had an overcome, and who also dealt with, because I'm 47. And yes, I'm approaching, let's say, the premenopause, and I'd never dealt with this, and I didn't know what to do. So I asked for help, and I received. So yes, actually, every day, this is how I start my day, thanking God that we have this lineage, that we have this modern mystery school. And I thank you also, Divina Kate, for holding the space for Europe, which is such an amazing privilege and opportunity.
Thank you, Roxana, and thank you so much for sharing your experiences of Ensofic. And I can't wait to invite everybody and have everybody there together. It's going to be an amazing, amazing few days, amazing week. So thank you, Roxana, and thank you everybody for tuning in.
Thank you all, and don't miss the light worker week.